So I was actually reading an article. It's from 3 months ago, and I want you to understand how bad this is based on the fact that this was just a few months ago. And it says that 75% of middle class households say their income is falling behind the cost of living. 75%.
That's a massive percentage.
75%. So if that was a few months ago, how bad is it today?
Because all that's happened in the last 3 months is things have continued to get more expensive. Stores have continued to lay people off. Man.
I don't know if you saw the video I put up yesterday, but Walmart's cutting employees at a distribution center after having purchased a robotics company with the sole purpose of using the AI and robotic technology to facilitate orders. Meanwhile, claiming they're going to be hiring thousands and thousands of more employees, yet laying off thousands after buying a robotics company.
The irony.
And Meet Kevin posted a video yesterday that Chris Igo shared with me. And it says, Meet Kevin's video, it's got in the thumbnail, it says JP Morgan Chase. It looks like a Twitter post. S&P 500 to fall 45%. And it says, massive economic collapse. Prepare for a 45% decline.
Now, keep in mind, you said this is Meet Kevin
Meet
posted
Kevin.
it? Okay, so keep in mind, everybody out there who's immediately getting scared that stocks are all about to fall 45%, he could be talking about one specific stock.
S&P 500. S&P 500 it's like a collection of the top 500.
So it's not like the individual stocks within the S&P 500
Yeah,
that he
so
could be talking about.
S&P 500 basically is like, if you ever watch Dave Ramsey and he says invest in an index fund, S&P 500 is an index fund.
Because it has so many different things inside it, so you're getting a little bit of every piece of the pie. Okay, I got it.
So if it falls, that
It's
means
early.
a lot. That means a lot have fallen because there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just one company, like Tesla, for example.
But let me ask you, is Tesla in there? Like, is it big companies in this S&P 500, or is it smaller ones?
Oh, huge companies. Huge companies that have historically maintained consistent growth.
Okay, so then my next question is it a collective 45% amongst all the ones inside the S&P 500?
When the S&P 500 falls, it's just maybe one went up and 499 went down.
But so when they're giving you a number, it's collective amongst all of them.
If you're invested in S&P 500, you are along for the ride.
So then my next question is for people who may not fully understand, because it's early and my brain's trying to remember how this all works. If there are 500 in there and you have a little bit into, you have a little bit into each one, or you're all in on all of them? Does that make sense?
All of them. So for instance,
Okay.
let's just say you invested in Walmart. You invested in Walmart stock, but you like a particular store.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
If other stores fail, if other components of the company fail, you're in for the ride.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
So when Meet Kevin says S&P, Meet Kevin is restating JP Morgan Chase's opinion of the S&P 500 potentially falling or to fall 45%. And it's not, actually I watched the video. It was going to fall 20% because it had already fallen 25%. So it would add up to falling having had fell 45%.
So it's a collective. It's not like another 45% is about to get wiped out.
Now, you got to think, though, the S&P 500, typically you would expect to see gains of like 3 to 5, maybe even up to 15%. Now, it's fallen 25%, could possibly fall another 20%. That's a big deal.
Well, so I'm looking at it from a different way. I'm looking at it that if things like that keep falling, it will give businesses incentive to find ways to lower their prices or to bring people back into work, because there's a lot of people who don't shop at places that don't have real people working and things like that.
No, it makes perfect sense. You got to think about it. The government put money into the economy through stimulus packages. not just stimulus checks, but through stimulus packages. Trillions of dollars was pumped into the economy, which enticed spending, which got us to where we are today. Now they're taking it back out. But you're right. The businesses have the power to put the money back into the economy through the hands of the workers.
Yep.
That is a realistic possibility of a possible solution.
Yeah.
By making it so that spending can occur. But the businesses would have to pump the money into the economy.
That makes perfect sense. So, and in order for the businesses to do that, a lot of them will have to honestly be willing to make a little bit less profit right now in order to bring people back in to spend more money.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, it could be, one hand washes the other, and it doesn't necessarily have to be less profit.
That's true.
Maybe you should hit up Meet Kevin and get on his show. He can provide some financial advice. Side note, this is not financial advice.
Side note, this is not financial advice.
But it says 75% of middle-class households say their income is falling behind the cost of living. The reality of inflation and the specter of a recession appear to be weighing heavily on middle-class households, which Meet Kevin and I share a similar mindset that we are currently in a recession. It may not feel like it to some. It may not feel like it everywhere in all businesses, all sectors, all markets, all parts of the country. But I believe we are in a recession.
I was thinking, I know you're talking about the middle class, but the whole not making enough for the cost of living doesn't just apply to the middle class. I mean, you have some in the higher brackets that because of the way they have lived, even what they are making is starting to, the increases, the inflation is starting to outpace what even they are making. So even not just the middle class, I'm sure, is feeling the difference.
I think that perhaps maybe there should be some financial education training because I know that there are people out there that'll say, I live off of a few $100s a month. And others saying that, they make a reasonable income salary, 70, 80, 90, $100,000, but they're still struggling. And it's because of the financial education that is lacking.
Money management and things like that.
Which, if you think about it, it's like the powers that be instill so much throughout the school system and the education process of K through 12, probably focusing on way more things that aren't really that important than are, yet none of them include financial literacy.
I mean, our daughter is in 7th grade, and I ask her all the time, what are you learning in school? And she's like, random crap that doesn't matter. And she tells me what it is, and I'm like, well, 99% of that is random crap that doesn't matter, like, in all honesty, because a lot of it's the same stuff I learned in school that I do not use on a daily basis whatsoever, but they still aren't teaching them the same things I didn't learn in school, which is really how to take care of yourself financially and just random things like sewing and cooking and whatnot.
Yeah, it's funny because her friend came by, and this was when we went to the burger festival, and she had $20. Her parents gave her $20.
Yeah.
And there was a little game there, and it was like $12 to play the game. And she was like, all right, let's play. And I looked at her. I said, do you really want to play this game for $12? And she looked at me. She looked at the game. She looked at her $20. And she looked at me again. She goes, no, I don't.
No.
But it's cool because she has that. And I don't know where she got it from, but she's got it.
Well, that's like I was saying in my video a couple days ago when we all went to Target and our kid goes, how come everything I want costs so much money? And I was like, are you going to get anything? She's like, no, it's too expensive. I'm going to wait till it's on sale. And I'm like, see, now I know you're my kid.
So it says among those whose income falls in the $30,000 to $100,000 range, 75% say their earnings are falling behind the cost of living. And 77% think the U.S. will be in a recession by the end of 2022. And this is according to a recent survey from Primerica. Like I said, I think we're already in a recession. The article that I read yesterday actually stated that Walmart was canceling orders. Granted, they claimed that they were canceling orders for a strategic reason for warehousing. But also, Trucking Prepper made a video about how Walmart was canceling orders. And I think that the cancellation of orders from Walmart ties in pretty closely to the fact that we're in a recession. And as a big box retailer, why would you want to be inundated with so much extra inventory when you know people can't afford it.
I know you're talking about something totally different, but I've had people comment on my channel that they've placed, I think it's what, Spark orders with Walmart. That's the one that you order online and then either go pick it up or they deliver it to you.
It's Walmart, but they have drivers.
Okay, so Spark
drivers.
is the delivery one. Okay, so and even the online orders to go pick up yourself, I've had a lot of people comment that they'll place an order, and then by the time they get there to pick it up, they will be told, oh, we don't have that on hand, or they will swap it out for something close to it, which a lot of times is not anywhere near what it was and will cost more. They don't ever pick the cheaper version. They pick the more expensive version of whatever it is that you wanted and replace it with that. And I've even had people say that they've placed online orders. It'll show that it has the inventory in stock, like plenty of it. They'll place the order, and then they'll get an email that says, sorry, we're completely out of stock of that. You can't have it.
Yeah, that could possibly be a little bit of a combination of probably for the fact that they've shrunk their workforce. They're laying people off. They're trying to pretend like there's no problem, but we know there's a problem. It's probably part of the fact that they've laid people off who were in these positions, in these departments, who were supposed to manage this, that no longer do.
Yeah.
And now the extra burden has been put on other employees without any increased compensation. And those employees are technically, quote unquote, quiet quitting because they're not going to do more than what they were brought on for, especially not what they're being compensated for. But then, Walmart, I think, much like many other retailers, are going to have some big struggles and some big issues. And, we could possibly still see the likelihood of some shortages of some products. And it could be across the board. But the company's going to want to send out as much as they can to get it off the floor. And if the customers aren't paying attention, much like we were talking about yesterday with this Amazon Prime increase in charges and automatic monthly, recurring monthly deliveries, if you're not paying attention, they're going to get you. Now, it says there's also been a general uptick in financial worries in the last 6 months, with 39% of those surveyed expecting to be worse off financially in a year, up from 32% in March and 28% in December of last year. In December of 2020, that share was 17%. So over the last, let's just say 2 years, as we approach December 2022, the amount of people that felt financially worried, expecting to be worse off in a year, went from 17% to 39%. There was a 22% increase in the amount of people who expected to be worse off financially.
Which is just ridiculous in the greatest country on earth.
Let's see, the June survey of nearly 1,400 adults was done as part of Primerica's quarterly check-in on the financial security of middle-income families. And inflation has taken a toll on households, rising over 9% in June from a year earlier, marking the fastest pace since 1981, affecting items ranging from groceries and gas to clothes and cars. I don't know about you, but I feel as though gas is about to go up.
Oh, it already has. So from here, it was $2.93, then it went up to $3.09, and I'm seeing some places it's like $3.43. This is just for regular unleaded. So there's that consistent rise. Now, of course, it was a holiday weekend, so who knows if, tomorrow things are going to go back down, but there has been a steady rise over the last 2 weeks on fuel here.
So it says that income also isn't keeping up with the latest reading on hourly wages showed a 5% increase, which means inflation is generally wiping out the boost in income. If inflation's 9% and your pay increase is 5%, that means you're taking a 4% loss.
Which is crazy because the companies are still getting that full percent profit.
Which actually ties me back to Meet Kevin's video about the S&P dropping 45% total. And this is a combination of it having already dropped 25% with Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan Chase thinking that it could drop another 20. But on the flip side, glass half full, glass half empty, some economists believe that, hey, this is now in relation to the S&P 500 or any other possible investment vehicle out there, that you see a decline in, a drop in, perhaps maybe lowered confidence in,
Go buy.
it's on sale.
Go buy now. Now is when you get in there. Same thing with if you were trying to buy a house. You wait until the housing market sells for the cheapest, and that's when you go in and scoop it up.
Yeah, he had this guy, I don't remember who it was, he had an analogy similar to the analogy that I made about inflation and how the higher income, wealthy business owners and investors, the right side of the cash flow quadrant, are better insulated from inflation if you relate inflation to cold weather, cold temperatures. And he said that, similarly, he said, would you wait until the wintertime to buy a winter coat? And if you did, would you go and buy a winter coat from the store that was charging 45% more? Or would you go to the store that was selling winter coats for 45% off?
Yeah.
You wait, you find the discount. You buy the deal, you buy the dip, as Meet Kevin would say, buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
And that doesn't mean that the coats are bad. It doesn't mean that you won't need it. It doesn't mean that it won't perform for you. It just means that it's going to be a much wiser investment for you and save you money. Now it says actions middle income consumers will take to handle inflation. They have a list here of possible solutions to these problems.
Okay.
Work longer before
Oh, I thought you were going to say
retirement.
rob a bank. My bad. Keep going.
That might be on here.
Okay.
There's a few. Work longer before retirement.
Which has already started happening over the years. Retirement used to be like low 60s and it was mid 60s. Now it's high 60s and then low 70s. Like it's consistently moving up.
I think is what's interesting is that it probably includes the same folks that retired that have come out of retirement to go back to work.
Because they need that extra income because Social Security just ain't cutting it.
Cut back and or pause saving in an emergency fund.
Horrible idea.
But if all you can do, all right. So it doesn't say spend the emergency fund. It says cut back. So let's just say maybe you have a healthy emergency fund, but you can't continuously add to it. All you can do is work to stay afloat. Maybe not so bad.
That's different.
Here's a bad one.
Okay.
Delay car repairs and maintenance.
No. Because if you rely on your car to do anything in life, that is one of the things you need to make sure you're taken care of, unless you have the ability to ride a bicycle or walk to the same places that your car takes you to, or unless you have the ability to take free, city transportation, or you have somebody who can give you a ride. Then and only then would I say maybe possibly delay car repairs.
However, if you're delaying car repairs, please, for the sake of others, do not delay brake service
No.
and maintenance on your brakes.
Those are
and
definitely
tires.
important. Yes, brakes and tires definitely important.
Also, the lighting, turn signals are important, regardless of whether or not everyone uses them. It's good to have them. Find a higher paying job.
Oh, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Why didn't I think of that?
Actually, I'm going to be putting together what opportunities exist as far as finding higher paying jobs and starting side hustles and businesses, as more and more emails and questions and requests to be onboarded as new clients to figure out how they too can take control of their income and have multiple streams of income in these trying times, which, I posed the competition, the challenge of anybody who said that they didn't have what they needed to start. If they did, would they even take action?
We actually helped a friend start a YouTube channel yesterday. First video will be going up soon. She had no idea how it all worked, and we talked to her about it one day, and she was like, "Oh, I want to do this," and so we went and helped out.
It's pretty cool because her restaurant's going to be featured in Coastal Living. So it's going to be a great opportunity to highlight that feature on a YouTube video, as well as everything else they're doing. But speaking of YouTube channels, Trucking Prepper texts me. He goes, "Kevin, it's working."
Yay.
He says, "Kevin, it's working."
I don't know what it is, but yay.
He had a video yesterday. That thing shot up.
Yeah?
And then he posted another one last night, and it's like...
Okay.
I'm
excited. I'm going to go watch them later.
He caught on very quickly.
Good.
But the fact of the matter is...
well, he and his wife are very smart. And they listen.
He never said he didn't have what he needed. You could look at his video and his audio and realize it's not, movie quality, but he didn't let that stop him.
Nope.
And he kept pushing. and now he's seeing the rewards from his efforts and being smart about getting the information from someone who was already doing it, who was already seeing success, and then applying it to his own. And I'm not going to lie, he was very persistent.
Yes,
He was very
persistence
persistent.
is key. I mean, always in every aspect of life.
Even yesterday, because he wasn't feeling well, and he put that video up. And yeah, I'm very happy for him. All right, the other is increased credit card use. 19% say that they will increase credit card use to help with falling behind. That may not be an option for many.
Yeah, and it might not be a smart option for many.
No, it definitely won't be, and especially for the fact that Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve, they're raising interest rates to fight inflation. So every time you look to use a credit card, you're looking to spend more money and interest and adjustable rate APR. And that if it's all you got, it's all you got. It's crazy. I heard a commercial on the radio yesterday, and they said, regardless of your credit, we can get you up to $5,000 if you need money.
Oh yeah, they can get you up to $5,000 if you need money, but if you have shitty credit, you're going to be paying like a 42% APR, and if you have decent credit, they're going to still plug in at like 17% APR. So either way, they can get you money, but it will cost you so much in the long run.
It's going to be higher than that. It's a predatory lending strategy and technique.
Yeah.
And what they do is they actually they hide the interest rate into these fees.
The yearly fee.
And no, these are like weekly.
Oh.
Like we're gonna give you 5,000, but we're gonna take 800 out of your checking account every week.
Oh yeah, no.
Like you're gonna burn through their 5,000 so fast,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be caught back up to where they let you borrow money so quickly, and then you're just gonna be pounded.
I mean, I get those things in the mail all the time. Hey, we see that you have a car loan. Let's refinance it, and you can pay this much each month. And I'm like, no, you're trash. Throw it up, rip it in half, throw it away. Don't even bother.
Honestly, I don't see why anyone would be interested in any form of refinance today with the rates going up. That just doesn't make sense. I hope if people don't know, contact me, hit me up, because there's a lot of statements and terms and bright and flashy colors being thrown around that people don't know. This is that financial literacy I was talking about that the schools don't teach. And if you don't know, you could seriously do damage and hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what I was calling months ago when I told you guys that the economy was going down the toilet, that they were going to come after the older folks nearing retirement because they had the most to lose. But now they're going to broaden that. They're going to widen that. They're going to cast that net out across the board to everybody. And if you don't understand these terms, if you don't understand what these repayment terms mean, what APR and interest rates are, the processing fees, all these extra fees, you are going to do some serious damage at a time where every dollar counts. Seriously.
Yeah.
Now, another one says tap into retirement savings.
Eek.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would feel like that would need to be the last option, because there are so many other options out there before you do that. Like, I don't know, start any sort of side hustle whatsoever under the sun. I would always try to go that route first. I would start 12 different things if necessary, just to not have to touch savings or a retirement fund.
I ain't gonna lie, you got a good point right there. So as we were helping the friend yesterday set up their YouTube channel, we realized how many gaps they had in executing on the YouTube channel. And this goes for the members of the group too. If you have a business, if you are trying to start a business, you need to have a budget. Now, granted, there are businesses out there that can be started with zero money. I got it. But if you have one and you're trying to build it, you're trying to grow it, make sure that you're not losing dollars chasing pennies, okay?
Yes.
If recording videos and editing videos and doing all that is going to consume you and still not get done and not be of decent quality, outsource it. Outsource it. And odds are you probably got a young employee or a young family member or a young friend somewhere that can do this in their sleep because they are on social
They've grown
media.
up on technology.
And Instagram and TikTok and YouTube is like second nature to them. But for the people who are listening that have any ability whatsoever to create, there are so many channels, whether it be on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, it doesn't matter, that would love to create their own channels and own brands, but don't know the beginning, like the basics of making videos. And if you do, contact me, because there's so many opportunities out there for you to get in touch with these people where you don't even have to build your own channel.
Well, I mean, I have people who comment and send me emails all the time of, hey, listen, I made you a Squirrel Tribe logo, or how do you think about this for some sort of marketing, whatever, you know? And those are the same people that could reach out to any small little channel out there. Like, they could just be going through YouTube and TikTok, reaching out to small individuals and saying, hey, let me help you get off the ground. Let me help you build your logo, your whatever else, and get compensated for it.
Let me put it out there. I'm going to put out another challenge.
Okay.
Where are we at? We're at 25
minutes.
minutes. If you're still listening at 25 minutes, this is probably going to be one of the perks to sticking around and watching. If you're still listening at 25 minutes and you have a talent or a skill that you think could be very beneficial, that could also bring you money, but you don't know how to get out there, contact me. My information is in the description. Contact me and I'll highlight you and on a video and get you out in front of as many people as possible, especially if you have any abilities in the tech side, in video editing, video processing, video recording, video and or script writing. Anybody out there who's good at script writing, there's a huge opportunity out there for you. Please pay attention. And actually, we were talking about it yesterday. There's an opportunity for people that get paid to comment on videos.
Yeah, whether it's positively or negatively. Sometimes you see comments and you're like, there's no way this person, but like, where did this person come from? And it's like, well, those are the ones that are getting paid to go around and comment on stuff. Because I actually mentioned it months and months ago, sitting outside of Sprouts one day. I gave you guys some ideas on how to make extra money. And one of the things was an online business where they were going to pay you to go comment positive things about their brand on people's videos, people's channels, people's Instagram posts, things like that. You have to think, though, there's also people paying people to comment negatively on stuff.
Think about it. Businesses need customers.
Those 5-star reviews on Google, they need somebody to go in there and go, oh yeah, no, the restaurant was great, the nail place was great, whatever else.
Well, you got to think, there's some businesses that are really great. They just don't get the recognition.
Yeah.
So they need people to provoke that. And there are, businesses need customers.
And the easiest way to get a customer is to have a customer. Do you know what I mean? Like, that word of mouth is the easiest way to get the next customer.
All you need, Daryl Eves, if you can get one person to share you, then the next person will share you, then those two people will share you, and it will just grow like a weed. And then you end up with channels like Matt's Off-Road Recovery that just blew up. Ryan Trahan, as people share, because they didn't know about him, but now that you told them about him, they love him. They're like, how come I didn't know about this sooner?
Yeah.
So anybody out there who's looking to generate some income alone, or extra income, there's some huge possibilities out there, especially if you have the ability to analyze data, read data, write halfway decently, record video, edit video. And I'm not talking about like Michael Bay. I'm just talking about splicing clips together, basic stuff.
Yeah.
Basic stuff that you can do from your phone, as these phones have these video editors and creators built in, or a simple app that you can download. So just putting it out there. A lot of folks say, oh, this isn't real, this doesn't exist. I'm about to put you on if you want to be put on. That's all I'm saying. So as we go down this list, one of the other options to keep up with this rising cost of living is cut back and or pause credit card payments. Now, if you're cutting back, that would mean that you were paying over the minimum payment. But paying minimum payments will only keep you poor.
Yes.
If you pause credit card payments, then that's going to basically shut off your credit card and harm your credit.
Yes.
So if you're down to that, then you may want to consider some other options. Again, I'm not telling you this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to file bankruptcy, but I'm also saying that bankruptcy is not a bad word.
Yep.
Now, the last one is none of these. None of these, which basically means it is what it is.
And it is what it is. It is what it is.
I hope that everybody doesn't go that route, because that would be devastating.
Yeah.
That would be devastating.
Yeah.
The question looming large is whether the economy will skirt a recession, which is generally defined in the U.S. as a significant economic decline that lasts more than a few months. And economists are split on whether there's one on the horizon. Again, this is an older article.
Yeah.
Number two, a recession is defined by 2 consecutive months of negative GDP.
Oh, well then.
They're trying to rephrase this to make somebody look better than they are. And, the fact of the matter is the economy sucks. It's going to get worse. And if you're not preparing yourself and your family financially, you are going to get wiped out. The middle class is going to cease to exist. And this K-shaped recovery is going to continue to make the wealthy even wealthier and the middle class poor, poverty-stricken. And ultimately, there will be that gap between the K, the two angled lines of the K, will just widen. There won't be a middle class. It'll be hard to be middle class. Other options here: eat out less, delay upgrades on laptops and cell phones, buy fewer clothes and accessories. Which I think the buying clothes and accessories. All right, so the delaying tech upgrades, like Apple has brainwashed their fanboys out there into buying everything.
Well, because they slow their crap down, so they make it so that you have to go out and buy the new one. Because they came out with that like that was a thing.
Then they pump out more tech, and it's like, yeah, I got that watch, but they came out with 4 more watches.
Yeah, they all did the exact same thing.
There was actually a story of a guy that bought like 5 Apple watches for like a few $100s a piece, however much they cost. Why? Because he wanted different watch straps, and he was too proud to swap the straps, so he just bought different watches.
That guy's an idiot. That guy's the first one that's going to be losing all his money.
Buy fewer clothes and accessories. I talked about that girl yesterday buying that Hermes Birkin bag. People out here wasting all this money on these clothes and these shoes, these red bottoms, and all these name brands on their clothing. When they all come from the same place, they all come from China.
Oh yeah.
But you just buying up all this crap just to put it on flex on the gram. If you broke, you better pay attention, because then it's like you want to sell it, nobody wants to buy it. Then you try to take it, trade it in, or consign it, and they're like, "This ain't worth nothing."
No.
It says Hanes. This is a Hanes T-shirt with a little Gucci stamp on it.
Yeah. I just realized all my stuff is from Kohl's, Target, Walmart, and restaurants we go to. That's where all my T-shirts are from.
Support your local economy. Granted, they're buying their clothing from China for sure, but they're putting their brand on it, they're putting their stamp on it, and we're supporting local. Cancel travel plans, drive less, cut grocery spending.
Okay, because that one's the easy one.
Yeah. Either way, look, we are in a bit of a tight situation. We've got a little bit of a squeeze going on
pickle here.
And this, like I said, this was a few months ago. I'm gonna close with their last statement on here that says the average rate on credit cards has been ticking up towards, and now averages more than 17%. A few months ago, it's higher than that now. Consumers' tabs stood at a collective $840 billion in the first quarter of credit card debt. Look, this is a struggle. This is real. This is happening. These are warning signs. And yeah, sure, there aren't a lot of channels out there sharing this information the way that we're sharing it. And it's because we feel that there's a gap in what's being presented that's real. Expanding on what's not being taught on a regular basis. They're teaching you, it's almost like they're teaching you to be broke and poor and reliant.
Yeah.
And not how to be
self-efficient.
Have the mindset of those who are not. Not necessarily saying that everyone would be multimillionaires, but if everyone had a mindset and had financial knowledge and education and presence of mind, then we probably wouldn't have these conversations of 75% of the middle class households say their income is falling behind the cost of living. We probably wouldn't have these conversations about possible recession. We probably wouldn't have videos like Meet Kevin, massive economic collapse, prepare for a 45% decline, S&P 500 to fall 45%.
You got to think, if something starts to bleed, the first thing you do is put pressure on it to stop the bleeding, right? Well, the government looks at the people figuring out how to take care of themselves and make more money as the country bleeding. And they're putting pressure on it right now to stop that, because they need us as collective us to rely on them, because if at any point in time we realize as a collective whatever that we don't have to rely on them, then they become obsolete.
I think they already know that they're obsolete, but they're trying to keep it under
Wraps.
keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Because if it got too loud, we would be in situations like some of these other countries where the citizens they decide to revolt, and that would be devastating, especially here. But I think that a new civil war here would probably, I mean, that would end the world basically.
I agree.
For as much firepower that we have here. So, and then once other countries, other enemies see that vulnerability as we start fighting each other, then it's over. Yeah. It's a done deal.
Done deal.
And we don't need that. We already have issues with people's income and their ability to afford basic necessities of life, earning a livable wage, keeping up with inflation. And just even trying to get their money out of the banks, it's a tight squeeze right now, and it really shouldn't be that way. Unfortunately, our best possible solutions right now are a deep recession and or hyperinflation. And hopefully for the people that are listening, they realize that even if they're of the opinion and mindset that fiat money means nothing and this will all end at some point, well, until then, you still got to pay to have a roof over your head. You still got to pay for transportation costs. You still got to pay taxes. You still got to pay for food, water, the basic necessities of life until that life is over. And if you want to do that, you're going to have to find ways of, managing your budgets and or increasing your income to keep up with this growing balloon of a problem until it bursts. And it's almost like we're in a hot air balloon and it keeps filling up. And when it bursts, everybody in that basket is going to fall and plummet to the earth, and that could be bad. So we don't want that to happen. Thank you again, Squirrel Tribe, for joining this morning. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Check out this video here and also this playlist as I've compiled our most recent podcast together so you guys can catch up on all that. Subscribe to both channels, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.